Hi there, welcome to Art and Soul Insider. My name is Barbara Lynn Burns. So, I want to welcome you to my studio in the basement. And what we do here is we do a whole bunch of things. We do a featured art supply. Okay, so I introduce an art supply that you might be interested in. And then after that, we have a guided meditation. We do an art project, and then we sum it all up with a lovely oracle reading. So if that interests you, hang on, because it's all about art and wellness. So let's start off with art. So the featured supply today is going to be something that has to do with the project that we're actually doing. And this is about all the different things that you can paint on for acrylics. The next one is going to be the guided meditation. The guided meditation is going to relax you and really just, give you all the good feels, give you energy, make you feel grounded. It's wonderful. And then the next thing what we're going to be doing is the lovely art project. Now this is part 2. Part 1 was of the dotting fall tree. Now this week we're going to finish it off with the bright, brilliant colors. And that's where we're going to be doing the dotting. So then we ended off with a not guided meditation, silly me, an oracle reading. I pull one card and that sets us off for the rest of the week. So if that interests you, hang on tight. Here we go. Okay, our featured supply kind of, it does pertain to this. This is one of the featured supplies. And what I'm going to be talking about today is, things that you can paint on with acrylic paints. So you have your acrylic paints and what do you paint it on? Well, let's begin. I created little post-it notes for us to kind of help see the amazing amount of things that you can paint your acrylics on. So the first one is stretched prepared canvas. That is basically canvas that is stretched on a frame, okay, and then gessoed. So that is stretched prepared canvas. The next thing you can do is with paper, okay? You can take I find watercolor paper works really good if you're wanting to paint with acrylics. Next thing is wood, okay? So you take your wood piece. I got this from Temu, okay? And you can get them like, $100 for so many dollars or whatever. And I mean, it can be thicker, it can be thinner, whatever, but wood pieces. Wood, I find a lot of wood pieces I can get from dollar stores. They've got some really great, like a jewelry box or a little box that you can then paint, and then voila, you have a wonderful project at the end. Let's see. These post-it notes are sticking together here. So let's try there we go. Okay. Next one's a little different. Leather. Have you ever thought of painting with leather? Or painting on leather, sorry. Yeah, so painting on leather would be one thing. So leather's very porous. So that makes it a perfect support to paint on. Next thing is good old paper mache, okay? You know how many times you've created something and you put the balloon in, and then you take your newspaper and glue and you cover the entire thing, or you make an object out of it. Paper mache. You paint that and that's perfect. Another one, fabric. Okay, so you could paint an apron, you could paint a t-shirt, you could paint a blue jean jacket. The list goes on. Fabric. Next one is very unusual, but it is one. Cement. I have personally have never painted on cement, but you can paint on cement because it is a porous support. Like it's the paint just seeps right into it. Okay. Next one is glass. Glass is a little smoother. I remember in the past, I added an additive to my acrylic when I wanted to paint on glass. I haven't done it in a while, but when I was doing this research online, they said glass could be something that you could paint with acrylics. Brick. Brick is very, very porous, as you know. It's very much like cement, right? So you can get brick, and say if it's a red brick, you can just gesso it to white and then paint away. Pottery, very similar to brick and cement, but we're not talking about the finished pottery. We're talking about the pottery that has just been fired. It's porous, okay? It has no painting on it whatsoever, no glazing, okay? Glazing is what happens when you have a special type of paint, which is called glaze, and you dip your pottery into it, and then you fire it into the kiln at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it comes back, and there's a chemical reaction, and it becomes very glossy, okay? And it is very non-porous, okay? So we want the porous stuff. We want the pottery that hasn't been fired. It hasn't been fired in the sense for getting any type of glaze on it, okay? And the last one is, basically sums it up, is any non-greasy surface that you can find. Now, one major thing that acrylic does not go with, plastics, okay? Plastics are a petroleum product, and same with your acrylic paints. Now, with your acrylic paints, however, you'd think that those two would work together, but they don't. Plastic is a non-porous entity, okay? And with it being non-porous, that way it doesn't stick. It's plastic against plastic, and it totally, and anyone who has a plastic palette knows your paint comes off. You can peel it off, you can scratch it off, it'll come off. Okay? So you want a non-greasy surface. We want something that's going to soak that paint in. So look at all the variety that you can actually paint on. And what I'm going to do in the future, I'm going to probably, well, I know I am. I'm going to actually introduce some of this stuff to you. Which ones? You're just going to have to hang on, but we will. And we're going to have some fun. So go out and put some spice into your work by applying your acrylic paint to any of this unique pieces of supports that you can find. Have fun! Here we are at our guided meditation. So I would want to say welcome to this opportunity to take time for yourself, to connect with your body, to quiet your mind, and just to spend some time just giving back to your body and your spirit. This guided meditation that we're going to do, I really like it because it goes through the body and it helps you really focus with it. I think even though I'm not doing the guided meditation with you. I'm reading it, but today's one of those days I think I really need it as well. So just by me reading it, I know it'll give me great comfort and it'll make me pause and reconnect with my body as well. Not as strong of an effect as it's going to do with you, but I think it'll help you. And so that I'm really excited about. This work was a previous work that we did. It was the uncoloring kind of coloring book type of thing that you actually can do. It's wonderful. I love doing it. So um, if you're interested in recreating something like this, I'm going to show the attachment, okay, or the video right up here in this corner, okay, for you to look at. And, if you're interested in it, you can go from there. But I really suggest you sit right now or lie down and just get really comfortable. So find a comfortable place to sit, lie, so that you're comfortable. Just be with your body and breathe. I invite you to close your eyes or bring your gaze low until a crease of light shines through. Notice what's coming up for you, what the body is aware of right now. What are you feeling? Notice how your body is breathing. No judgment, just observation. Check in with the interconnectedness union that we have with the body from inside out. Breathe through the nose deeply to the top of your breath. Release the breath and soften. Expel all the air from your lungs until you reach the bottom of the breath. Feel the body breathing. Remember who you are, what you stand for, and what's beneath the surface of your being, the interconnected self. Soften and surrender. Surrender to old ideas of you. Breathe. Feel the breath. And remember who you are. As you sit or lie down, remember what's beneath you, the layers of us, and surrender the body. Breathe. Feel the body supported by what's beneath it. Feel the breath and become aware of the body. You are not your body. The body is a tool. You are the higher vibration of light and energy. Breathe and honor the tool. Honor the feet that support you. Notice your feet and what's beneath them. Soften the feet. Breathe and surrender. Soften the ankles and the calves. Feel the vibration from the ground drawing up the legs and softening the knees and the thighs. Feel the breath. Remember who you are and why we're here together, in solidarity with the body, the mind, and the higher vibrated self. Soften the hips and the buttocks. Surrender the body. Allow the body to breathe. Release the belly and notice the lower back and the sacrum. Breathe in light and space there. Feel the breath open the mind. Relax the belly, seat, and gut. Notice the duality of the space in the body. Feel the breath. Soften. Remember who you are and the connection we have with the energetic self. Feel the torso breathing in with fullness as the heart rises with deep love and surrender. Soften the spine. Release tension in the back. Feel your arms get heavy as the weight is released from the shoulders. Feel the neck long as the arms draw down. Soften the fingers. They represent the details of life. Release the palms of your hands. What do you hold on to? Surrender. Soften. Breathe. Feel the breath and the body as a tool. Release the wrists and the forearms. Soften the elbows, biceps, and triceps. Breathe. Feel the lightness in your arms, the tool of your embrace. What do you embrace? Breathe and soften. Surrender the body. Free the mind. You are not your body. The body is a tool. How do you use it? Bring awareness to the throat. Relax the throat and open the throat. Release tension in the jaw and the mouth. How do you use your mouth in language? Soften the mouth. Honor the words that come through with intention and action. Release the face and jaw. Bring awareness to the ears. Pay attention to what you hear and take in. Surrender. Feel the body breathing. Bring awareness to the eyes. Soften the eyelids and the eyebrows. Bring attention to what you see. The mind remembers what you look at. It stores information from the eyes and the ears. Do you see, or do you turn away? Soften and know the heart is always listening. Feel the breath and soften the mind and the body. The breath is a tool to help us soften the body and remember who we are. The breath is a symbol of this movement of the interconnectedness. Breathing is a privilege. Breathing is the catalyst of the movement within us. Surrender the body. Feel the breath and use your tools to breathe into the higher vibrated self. Feel the body breathing, interconnected and still. This is a movement. Remember who you are. Remember what's beneath you and surrender to the higher sense of self. We are energy beings vibrating together in union, in light, interconnected. Deepen the breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale with a soft sound. Inhale through the nose and exhale with a soft sound. Inhale through the nose and exhale with a soft sound. Hold the breath. Hold and then release. Remembering what you stand for, the interconnectedness of us. Bring both palms together towards your heart. Inhale in solidarity to the privilege of breathing, because we can breathe. As we exhale, bow your head with gratitude. And when you're ready, open your eyes and stretch. This one is just, we don't really focus on our breath as much, but we're reminded throughout to breathe. So I find that very interesting with this meditation, because with some other meditations, we are quite consciously breathing. And but this one we're just reminded to breathe, and just that consciousness of our breath, it connects us to the here and now. By our, as our consciousness of our breath, as I mentioned, we can only focus on the present, where we are at this moment, at this time. And I like how it goes through our body, because it almost feels like we're washing our body as such, with each focus of each layer of each, step in our body. We're just aware of bringing breath into that area, reminding us to remind us who we are, and just the whole idea that we're interconnected. We're interconnected as a being by ourselves, with our mind, body, and spirit, but also we're reminded in this one, even though we're focusing on our body, we're reminded of the interconnectedness between all of us. And that's really, really special, I find. So, lovely. So good. I hope you enjoyed it. And a reminder that everything is time stamped. So if you are short on time in a day and you don't have time to watch the whole video, I remind you just to go to, if you need a guided meditation, if you just need to collect yourself for a moment, take that time. And I guarantee the moments that you spend in that guided meditation, it'll multiply in your life. And the fact you'll seem to have more energy. You'll just really start from a really strong foundation. So there you go. So now on to our project. And our project, as I mentioned, is part 2. So let's have some fun. Okay, so here we are at part 2 of the dotted fall tree. I just think this is just a special work. I'm just going to put it right in front of my face. The colors, I use an iridescent, okay? So it gets a little bit of a shine there. If you don't have an iridescent, you can actually buy iridescent medium that can be applied to your paints. It doesn't cost that much. It just changes your paint. It makes your paint a bit lighter, but it does change it, just to give it that sense of metallic iridescence. There we go. So, just get out your paints. And again, if you don't have that paint, don't worry. Your work will look just as special. And you will find it'll be very meditative for you, because it's a repeating motion. You're tapping into the paint and then tapping onto your board. And you might change the size of your tool, but that's the only thing that you're going to change. The motion is going to be the same. So if you really want to make it a meditative practice, I suggest you get on some very soothing music, okay? And just focus on the music, focus on your action, being present. And it's just wonderful, yeah. And if not, if you want to turn on a podcast, well, then you won't hear my little insights. But if you want to do that, you can. But also you could do, like listen to some music, your favorite music, and let it be an uplifting time. So whatever you choose from your heart, not your mind. Choose from your heart what will feel best for you at this moment. Be true to yourself. So here we go. Now is the time to paint with the colors. So I've got green. I'm going to be using some brown as well. Okay, so here's my green. It's a little thicker than this stuff, but it still works. I might have to do a second coat with these, so we will see. The red's not really a great red. It is a, well, it's pearlized red, so it's kind of pinker, but that's okay. That'll still get the idea. This is the orange. It's called shady orange. So it's not really a bright, bright orange. It's kind of a salmony orange, okay? And then we've got the yellow, which is the dreamy lemon yellow, okay? It is not a subdued yellow. It's a brighter yellow, but again, with this fun little work, it will appear okay. So here we go. So, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use my my browns first, okay? Because just want to get some paint down and kind of put it down. Now, remember, these ones show the exact size that they're going to. These ball bearings, right? They actually go smaller. I kind of like the ball bearings first. Now, what's a wonderful thing, okay? That's why I always have my trusty little thing here, is I can test out how it's going to work. So I can take my ball bearing in here and figure out how big it's going to be. That one went a little non-circular. It's okay if it doesn't. I'm okay with that. Okay. So there you go. So that's that size. So that's okay. That's not bad. What's the other size that's smaller? That's bigger. Okay, I kind of like those. I might go with those. Okay. I don't want the lighter brown. Maybe. Clean my ball, I mean. So I'm going to be going into this. Okay. I sometimes take a dab first before I actually go in. I don't know why, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. It's just so much fun. This is something that can be very meditative, okay? So you could just, one day you could work on, this one wasn't that circular, so I'm kind of making it a little more, well, it's a little off, but I'm okay with that. But this could be very meditative. So you could have a day of painting all trees, right? Of just doing like the tree trunk and that type of stuff. Then, when you want to do some meditative work, that's when you bring out these, okay? And then you just get lost in doing dots. So I'm doing some that are falling leaves as well. Okay. I'm getting smaller and smaller as I go. Again, remember that's that taking a ball for a walk. Because once you do a big one, okay, I'm going to do a big one here. Oh, that didn't work. The next time you do one, it will be smaller. Very small, that one. Okay. So I'm going to clean that ball bearing. So let's bring some other colors in. So let's see how this goes. I tested it before. And, oh yeah, okay. it lifted for me a little too much. So that's why I was talking. I might have to do a second pull at this. Look how it just pops with that metallic. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to be bringing in greens that are various sizes, right? I'm not just doing this one. These ones aren't turning somewhat circular for me. The paint must not be evenly distributed, so. But I'm okay if they're not perfect circles. Well, that one's a little off, really off, so I'm going to do that one again. Because in the overall scheme, if you have everything else looking pretty circular, then it will look fine, okay? So, and I admit I am not the greatest daughter. There are some amazing people out there on YouTube, and I highly suggest you go and see some of them. And what they do is they create mandalas with these dotting tools. So, and they are outstanding works of art. They are just incredible. So, changing color. Again, I'm using just the same size. Oh, no, I changed my size, didn't I, with this one? Yeah, okay. There's not much difference between these two. Yeah, there's not. Maybe I should have created one with a little bit more distance. Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe I'll take this one out and put this one in. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's these. So these are my 3 that I'm kind of working with right there. See? Okay, let's get some maybe big ones. I'm going to do some big candy apple red. Well, pink. Oh, we want to, when we're working with this, especially with this being metallic, it needs to be full color. So I'm just going to continue dotting. Okay, remember I've got green, this red, orange, okay, yellow, and I've got these browns that I'm going to be working with. So I'm just going to continue dotting, and I'm going to put it on fast forward so you can then see how it works. So here we go. So now what I'm going to do, I like the way this is working. And, I had a little ball dot kind of going over the black, but, it's okay. It still works really nice. I love how, there's a variation between shiny and flat paint. So now what I'm going to do is take my paintbrushes, and I'm just going to place this, do more flat, unball-like shapes. Okay, so let's just, they've been flattened. And it's okay if there's not, if there's some of the brown showing underneath. No worries. This is just, it'll give the feel of it, right? Of the leaves that have fallen. Okay, so that's done with that. So let's go to the next color. I'll come back to the green, but for now, right? Here's the red, or the very pink-like one. The pink and the orange are very similar. Same with the red and the pink. The pink and the orange are very similar, or the red and the orange, and the yellow and the green are very similar. So I was starting to put them side by side with each other, but we don't want that. We want more variation, right? Like here, you know what I mean? Side by side, more like that. Just have them in there. Make sure your brush is loaded, especially if your paint is a little thinner than mine. With the dotting ones, I found I liked the what are they called? The ball status much better than the other ones. Yeah. So, and you'll find your preference too. I mean, that's the beauty of art. You get to see which ones you like. My brush is too wet. There we go. I need more paint here. My orange is run out. Yeah, so I found with that, the Artiza paints, the ball bearings worked better. Okay, especially the metallic. I'm not sure how the flat ones work, but these ones, and you might see them on camera. I'm not sure if you can, but the dots left kind of a circle of color inside, another little dot, because what happened when you pulled up, it kind of pulled the paint. That means, especially with this type of paint, it's a little too thick compared to the deco art ones and stuff like that. So yeah, see how similar the green and the yellow are? Very similar. Like I have them side by side there. That's a green and that's a yellow. Very similar, very similar. Yeah, these are much thinner paints than regular acrylics, but they're a little bit thicker in paint compared to the craft paints that you have in stores. And we'll start all over again with the colors. It would be nice if I had it like it was a redder red, but well. These are the colors I had, so I just used what I had, right? That's all you can do. I mean, you can change them and alter them, right? But I didn't want to add any other paints to it. I wanted it to be simpler for you to enjoy. I find with every work, you are going to encounter a stage where you go, it's so ugly. I don't like it. It's not working. That's normal. Okay? So when you reach that place, know that all you have to do is keep going. If you feel really, really negative about it, stop. Okay? Just stop, walk away from your work, and come back to it another day. And you'll still might feel, oh my gosh, it's not good. But what will happen when you take that break, you will actually come back and see, oh, it's not that bad. This kind of works here. I kind of like that. And that's what you'll find. Sometimes when we're right in the thick of it, and especially when it gets to that ugly colors and ugly, poor composition, and it's just like, oh, nothing's working. Just breathe and come through it. And the thing is, you do not want to be frustrated when you're working with art, especially when you're doing it for relaxation, right? Or for your sanity. You want to enjoy it. You want to have joy in it. So if you find something's a little too frustrating for you, just stop it and then return to it later, Return to it later. Some of my paint is on really thick, but that's, it's kind of gives it a little bit more dimension because it's kind of see-through in some areas, right? And then with it thicker, you get to see the color a bit more, you see? Yeah, so that's kind of the way it goes with this. Well, yellow is the lightest color. So it has some issues sometimes with, on darker backgrounds. So I'm wanting to cover up most of the brown, but if some of the brown shows through, I'm okay with that too. Another option is to let it dry, come back again, and do more layers. That is always an option. Like here, it's almost the same colors. It's the oranges and the reds as such. So let's go and bring in some thick green, right? And just kind of drop it in. You might have to clean your brush after each one. There we go. So I'm going to blow dry it, I think. I just want to see if I want to add some more on. Still wet, but I think the outer crust is dry. So let's just go in and I just want to add a bit more. And it's kind of neat with the thickness of the paint that it's kind of coming through really nice. Leaves, looks three-dimensional. You've got some stuff in there, right? Went a little over. Stained wood. That's okay. Oh, water dropped from my brush. Let it sit. Let's see if I can get a little piece of paper towel and just kind of encourage it to lift. There we go. Just placed it down lightly on the work and it brought it up. There we go. I'm going to need some green right in there. I like the fact that it's bright, and I like the contrast, as I mentioned before, between the metallic and the between the metallic and the matte colors, right? Between the trunk and the background versus the leaves and the leaves on the ground. Some circles could have been better, but overall, I think it looks good. I might have go in after all this and use some of my small ones. Where are my small guys? Where did I put them? They should be there, but they're not. I had them somewhere. Oh, here they are, underneath stuff. I might go in with this guy, the smaller guy, and just fill in some of these smaller areas just right out, so then the bark will really come out. Because what's happening is the bark and the darkness of the bark, okay, the background, I mean, black, and the darkness of the bark, they're dark colors. So what will really make it show up more is just having these leaves in there, okay? So, but yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So there we go. Okay, we're going to do the Wild Offering Oracle 52 card deck, Giving It All to God, Tasha Silver, art by Katie Daisy. Now, again, if that word God gets the hair on your back kind of up, or you've had bad experience with God/religion, I understand that. I have gone through therapy. I have gone through personal, reading lots of books about it and all sorts of things, trying to heal my way. As I mentioned before, I was a member of a church that had it was Christian as such, but it had very cult-like markers. So it wasn't good, and as much as they thought they were trying to do good, it became very controlling and not very life-giving. In fact, that was one of the lowest points in my life. I was actually thinking of committing suicide at that young age. So thank goodness I left and got the help I needed. Got the book by I think it was Father Leo Booth, and it was the book called When God Becomes a Drug. Really helped me. Really, really helped me. I mean, because therapy just didn't help me at that time. It helped me later, but it didn't help me at that time because people didn't understand how you could have it as a Christian thing, something be like a cult. So they didn't understand that. So I thank goodness for that book, because that book saved me, literally. And I've written to him. I haven't heard back from him, but I have done my part where I've shared my thoughts with Father Leo Booth. So here it is, the Wild Offering Oracle. It's this woman, Tasha Silver. She has written a lovely book, and I've mentioned it before, and I still have it right beside me here on my desk. There it is. The Outrageous Openness, Letting the Divine Take the Lead. It's a lovely book in the fact that if you only have time for a bit of inspiration or something to make you go, I got to think about that. Look at this. This is just 2 pages. When you know the one, anything can come. Divine Order and the Phone Company, the Cosmic Tip, Following the Inner Lead, Think Inside the Box. You see how short they are? Whisper to a Scream, When Credit is Overdue or Due. Okay? Lovely book. I loved it so much I got a hard copy of it. And haven't marked it up yet, but as I mentioned, I am going to read it. Again. It's one of those books I've read numerous times. So now let's get back to the cards. I've kind of taken the waylay from the cards here. So here we go. This is for anyone watching this video. And someone might have just popped onto this video just to see the oracle card reading. So who knows? This might be for you. I really do believe that at the same time we can learn from anything. So I usually come away with something that this has touched me on or made me think about. So it could be also, as I mentioned numerous times before, it could be for all of us. So here we go. I'm not good at spreading these out evenly. There we go. Okay, so I close my eyes and I take my hand and I feel a pull when I'm over a card or over this section of a card that I'd like to pick. So here we go. Something a little there. Oh, okay, right there, actually. Going a little slow. Here we go. Gratitude. Oh, love that word. Love that word. Really makes a difference. So gratitude. Find just the one thing you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun. And I never thought of doing it, something like this, but actually feeling it through your whole entire body. Find just one thing that you're grateful for right now. And let that gratitude pour through your body. Okay, I'm thinking about it right now. Try to feel it through your body. Bring it from your heart. I mean, at first we hear this message, it goes to our head. But then I bring it down to my heart. And then once it's in my heart, let it flow out from my heart, going up, going down, going to one side and outside, the other side. Let it feel like it's radiating from your heart. Can you feel that? You might need a little more time, but consider doing that. Sit with whatever you're grateful for and let it permeate from your heart outwards to every cell in your body. Wow. Really nice. So, gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just appreciate the time you took for yourself. The world can be such a busy place that we just can forget about ourselves. And, as I mentioned a bit earlier today, or in this session, that, I was feeling a little off this morning. My body was really, really tired. The growth on my spine was acting up, and I just wasn't feeling good inside and in my extremities, my legs, my arms, just off, and we can feel that sometimes. I think the key for me, and that's why in a lot of ways, I'm grateful that I had to record this today, because it makes me focus back onto my body, okay, and back onto my heart, and the fact that what's going to give me joy. And kind of going with the card that I just picked about gratitude. Feeling a sense of gratitude can really help us. And the fact that just finding things to be grateful for in our day. And, forget about the day even. Sometimes it can be pinpoint to a moment. Find out what you're grateful for right now, at this moment. Like right now, I'm looking outside. I've got a window in my basement here that I'm looking out. And the sun, there's snow on the roofs. And the sun is kind of yellow. And it has a hazy, lazy warmth to it. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have these studio lights that brighten what I can do so I can share it with you. I'm grateful for the guided meditation that we did today. It really did help center me back into my body and just spread breath and a sense of who I am is actually spirit, light, and energy. This body isn't necessarily who I am. It's a part of me, but it's just a tool. It's a tool to help me in this life. And yeah, that's a blessing. I have a pretty strong tool here, even though today it was hard. And it is still hard for me right now. But yeah, it still works pretty good. I'm here spending time with you, so that's not bad. So with this, please be gentle with yourselves. Please be kind. Please take moments to just sit. Could be putting a 5-minute timer on. The other day, I had literally 3 minutes before I had to go to work. I set my timer 3 minutes and I did a meditation. And the meditation for me was just basically to breathe and just try to put everything out of my mind. I felt so much better. 3 minutes. So, yeah. If we can spend longer, that's great. But, yeah. So I send you off with greatest of love. And a reminder to be, as I said before, gentle with yourselves. And just try to find the love in each moment. The love and the gratitude. Yeah. So with that, I send you off with the greatest of love. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.